Hey everyone, it's Jackie from Watercolor Gypsy Art and Wellness, and I am so sorry that I have been gone for so long. I was planning on making these videos back to back, but I'm going to be a little transparent with you guys. I do have autoimmune disease, and part of the reason why I'm being transparent is because it's a very popular thing and a lot of people do suffer from autoimmune diseases. I have fibromyalgia and rheumatoid arthritis, so I'm sure some of you, out of the hundreds of you that have watched my soft pastel informational intensive workshop, do have some sort of chronic illness or something. So I'm just going to go out and say it, that I was sick for the week and I couldn't record. So I'm still not really feeling 100%. If you want to skip past this, I'll give you the timestamp in the description so you don't have to listen to my personal issues. But if you want to know where I went for a week, because I've been, pretty much posting every day since I really started my YouTube channel, is I was really out of it and I needed some time to recoup. So where we last left off was we finished the soft pastels. And I wanted to go back to them just for one moment because there were just a little details I forgot to mention that I feel like are super important. So we're going to start with the Terry Ludwigs. So the Terry Ludwigs are considered a very soft pastel. And even though they are very soft, they hold up. Meaning they don't crack and crumble. This is the same paper, by the way. We are using Canson Me Tints on the rough side, on the smooth side, and UArt 400 for our tests for the mediums as well. That will stay consistent for all the pastels, including the pastel pencils. So the Terry Ludwigs, even though they are such a soft, buttery, delicious pastel that can layer, and that's really where they highlight when you need to layer and you have a bunch of pastel on your paper and you need maybe those sky holes in your trees, like they're just wonderful. They are a robust pastel, meaning they don't fall apart. Like for example, a Schmincke pastel or a full stick of Sennelier. Now that leads me into my second part of what I wanted to say to you. Let me just brush that off. This is what happened to all the pastels that were in the tutorial. They just went in a box because I don't have a palette yet. It's being made. And so the second part is I wanted to tell you. Now you can see I told you when I first had my full Schmincke stick, it broke into pieces. And that's because there is so little binder in them that they're pretty much just pigment sticks. So Sennelier, when you have full sticks of Sennelier pastels, you get a kind of similar effect. They tend to crumble, and you'll notice this if you do what most people do, or at least what I do, and I know Karen Margulas does it. If you cut the paper off or try to take the paper off, like let's see if we can get the paper off this, and you see how like that's kind of crumbling everywhere. I'm not even going to do it because I don't want to deal with the crumbles. They're very soft because there's very, very little binder in there. Now, I have ordered myself, I wasn't going to do this, but I had ordered myself a set of 30 Plein Air Landscape Sennelier half pastel sticks. Now, something to note about the half pastel sticks is they are more robust, and they actually say that on their site when they advertise for them. So that's something to consider if you like Sennelier pastels or you want to try Sennelier pastels, and let's say you get the Dakota trial box like I did, and you get a full stick and it falls apart on you, and that's something that you really don't like and it turns you off. Don't be completely turned off, because they do make half sticks, and their half sticks are more robust. I have used them in the past and I can attest to it. And it doesn't mean that there is less pigment in it at all. They are just made slightly differently. So that was something about the soft pastels that I wanted to mention to you. Now let's get into the hard, the medium, and if we have enough time, we're gonna go into the hard pastels because there's really not a lot. It's not as much as the, here it is. So you see, like, we did more than all of these. These are the medium pastels. Let's see if I can get you to focus. You know, you guys know I'm still getting used to this camera. You can see there's 3 from Dakota. I added 1 or 2, and there's 4 hard pastels. So if we can get through, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 softs in a video, we can totally get through the mediums and hards together. So, and you always have the option of watching the medium first and then, you know, pausing it, coming back in your own time and watching the hard pastels. So we're gonna go into the medium lights. And this is the medium light sampler set. So what we get in here is we get an Art Spectrum, not the extra soft, just a regular Art Spectrum. We get a Rembrandt, which is the one we're going to start with for a very particular reason. We get a Holbein square pastel. We get our hard pastels, which is Create a Color, Faber-Castell Polychromos Pastel, not Polychromos colored pencils. They have a colored pencils line that's also called Polychromos. Very confusing. Then we have the Caran d'Ache hard pastel, and of course we have the most popular and beloved Prismacolor Nu Pastels, NU Pastel. Now they included a pan pastel, and Dakota Pastels must consider pan pastels to be a medium or hard pastel. I have to disagree with this one, and I love Dakota Pastels, but to me, pan pastels are in the soft pastel range. Why do I think that? Okay, it is so soft that it has to be compressed into a pan and used with applicators. And here's my little applicator thing that, like, look at how much pigment this is. This is a clean one too. They are pretty soft. And they're great. You could do full paintings with them, but they're great for underpaintings, but we're going to get to that. I just wanted to note that in the beginning that I consider a pan pastel to be in the softer pastel range, not in the hard. I guess they put it in the medium to hard because of the way it's packaged, because it is in a pan like eyeshadow. So I got my tea ready. Let's get started here. All right, Rembrandts. And I also have something else on the list that's not supplied by Dakota Pastels, and that's a Conte crayon. And Conte crayons aren't really pastels because they have wax in them, but we'll get to that. But it's a product that is phenomenal for drawing that I think you should know about and have the option to buy if you are looking to work on your value studies and your drawing skills. Okay, Rembrandts. So Rembrandt, and this is probably true for most professional pastel artists. I'm not a professional pastel artist yet. Everybody starts with Rembrandts, and I actually, I have in my Hyman, if you watch my videos, I have a Hyman single sketch box that I was going to bring upstairs, but I had forgotten about it, that has my very first, or what's left of my very first half-stick assorted set of 30 of Rembrandt pastels, and my first 12, or what's left of them, set of Nu Pastels and Canson Me-Tints paper. And we're gonna do an entire thing when the series is over about how you can get started with good brand pastels for under $100. And I'll teach you how to mix, I'll teach you how to use the set. You don't worry, you're in good hands. So anyway, let's get back to why we're here. Medium pastels. Rembrandt. Let's see if I have one that's broken already. This is what it looks like full stick. And because this is the light one, this is a sienna, and they go by numbering system. So this is the lightest in the sienna range. This is 411.9. So this is the lightest in their range. Let's see if I have something else. So after I got my half stick set of 30 that I still use to this very day for finished paintings and for sketching, I have some pieces, I broke them in half for convenience because they're too big to use. Let's see, come on. We don't want to focus. Okay, here we go. Sorry guys, I had to cut that out, wouldn't focus. So here's my half stick of, I can never say this color, Caput Mortuum. So I'm going to take the paper off of this guy. And again, this is something I bought additionally because I was looking for this color. And we're going to test this out. So Rembrandt, made by Royal Talens Company. Royal Talens Company makes a lot of pastels. They have been around since 1899. They are round, as you can see. There are 225 colors in their entire range. They've been crafted in Holland since 1899. Rembrandt, living up to its legendary namesake, has grown to be one of the art world's most reputable brands. Working closely alongside artists, Rembrandt has developed a line of pastels with an emphasis on color, light fastness, and high-quality pigments, in combination with only the purest and softest form of kaolin as a binder. Sorry, guys, if I can't pronounce things right. It's a type of clay, kaolin, as a binder. One can rely on consistency and smooth application from Rembrandt, as they are free of metal-based pigments such as lead, cadmium, cobalt, which can result in hard bits within the pastel stick. Rembrandts are great for underpaintings and details that require precise strokes. In 2014, Rembrandt added 15 new extra dark shades, bringing the total color line to 218. The 225 full set in a wood box has 203 colors plus extra white, black, and duplicates of other popular colors in a deluxe wood box, and new darks are not included in that. A single pastel will run you $3.90. They're still releasing more colors, and they recently released these micro sets of 5 in color families and 10. They range from $8 to $15, with the set of 5 being $8 and the set of 10 being $15. Wonderful for a new pastelist to buy a set of 5 and see if they even like them. Specialty sets available such as landscape and portrait sets. Half sticks are available but not for individual sale. They have half stick sets available in sets of 15, 30, 60, 90, and a special set of 120, and that ranges in price from $34 to $120. If on sale at Dakota Pastels, it's $120 if on sale at Dakota Pastels, which I think it is right now. But if it's not on sale, the set of 120 is $142. Sorry, I didn't understand what I wrote there. The full stick sets come in 15, 30, 90, and 150, ranging from $60 to $630. And the full wood box set of 225 will cost you $960. So let's test these bad boys out. Let's see if I can get you in more. Yeah, I gotta buy an extra zoom lens. All right, guys? You tell me in the comments below. So these are great. I haven't used this yet, so let me just get some, like a flat surface. So they're great for broad strokes. Like it said in the description, it was a perfect description of Rembrandt pastels. Like, look at those lines I can get. Beautiful. Beautiful lines. I can make tree branches. And look, they're also good for layering. So let's take where's my other color? Let's take my lighter color and just for the heck of it, let me break a piece off and oh, and they break great, guys. They don't really crumble too much. Ooh, okay. And come on, let's layer this. Like, look at that. Even though it's a medium pastel and it's great, it's my recommendation for beginners. You know, they're not going to behave the same way as soft pastels, but they're very consistent. They're reliable. They're a great pastel. Like, I have nothing bad to say about Rembrandt pastels, except that when you are layering, if you have a lot of layers on your paper, sometimes when you want to get an extra layer in, because it's a little hard, it's considered a medium pastel, it will start to like pick up some of the pigment. It will scratch into your pigment. So that's something to consider. Let's try it on the smooth side. Where's my soft edge? There we go. So you see how I'm getting some texture in there, even though this is a smooth paper. So that's something that's either a pro or a con for medium pastels. Let's try it on the sanded paper. Ooh, as we know, the sanded paper just eats it right up. Let's try some strokes. And I'm just using the rolling technique here. We'll go over techniques in another video. Look, I'm just rolling over that. And this is a beautiful color, isn't it? Love this color. Look how smooth that blended on the sanded paper. It's crazy, right? All right, so that's Rembrandt pastels. I'm a fan of them. It's actually going to be, after this, I'm going to make a recommended video, as I said before, of how to get started in pastels for under $100 with good pastels, and Rembrandts are on that list. Okay, moving on now, just because of the order of how I wrote down my notes, we're gonna move on to a brand that I decided to include in this series because of its affordability. And I think that's an important thing when you're considering getting into pastels, is affordability, because as we went over the soft pastels, you notice that most of them were extremely expensive, and that's something to consider. And maybe not everybody has the means, if this is a hobby, to go out and spend, you know, $600 on like Terry Ludwig pastels, even though they're amazing. So this is a medium pastel. It is the Blick Studio Pastel. So it is, they do say it's an artist grade pastel, but it is sold as a studio pastel, which usually means it's a student grade. So let me read to you. Blick Studio Pastels. They are made in the USA. They are square, and this is just the 24 landscape set that I picked up, guys. What color you guys want to use? Ooh, I wish you could answer me. Let's use this one. Break it. And look, I barely got any dust when I broke it, so it feels nice and firm in the hand. Oh, the Rembrandts feel great when you're using them. I think that's an important part of pastel choosing as well. So they're square, as you can see. These brilliant, rich, fully pigmented soft pastels are made with fine quality raw materials. They blend easily for a beautifully smooth texture. Really affordable, good quality pastel. They do have specialty sets such as earth tones, gray tones, assorted, landscape, and portrait sets. Ready for this? The set of 12, 24, they have sets of 12, 24, 48, with 48 being the full set. The set of 12 will cost you just $5, and the set of 24 will cost you $9, and the full set of 18 will 48 will cost you $17. I paid $9 for this set. This is why I included them. Like, and they're useful in like your underpaintings. Like, let's say you're not using them. Let me zoom you guys back in. Let's say you're not necessarily using them in your final paintings, or maybe you want to do some sketching. Like, this is them on their side. Look at how bright and vivid that pigment is. I don't really know if the camera's catching it up, and I'm doing the same kind of rolling technique with the square and using the corner. Well, I'm not doing a good job at using the corner, but look at that. that's a good quality pastel to me. Like, of course, can I tell there's some binder in there after doing all this? Yeah, I can tell there's some binder in there. But for the price, and you're just starting out and you're looking for like maybe some medium pastels to do, you know, some underpainting with alcohol washes, or maybe you're just looking to play around and do, you know, you should be doing studies and sketching more than you should be doing serious paintings anyway, whether you're a professional or a amateur. You know, it's good to have a nice array of pastels, because you may buy that set of Terry Ludwigs one day, or you may buy that set of Schmincke's or something expensive, and you may feel they're precious, that you don't want to use them in your sketches and your studies. So $9 for a set of 12 and for a set of 24, I'm sorry, and $5 for a set of 12. I mean, come on, you can't beat that for that kind of quality and that kind of price. And this is not sponsored by Blick at all. I love Dakota Pastels. This is just something that I needed to show you guys, and as you can hear, I'm very excited about it because it's a wonderful price point, and it's just great. Sorry, I'm just sipping my tea. Oh, okay. Now let's move on back to the set of the sampler set that I got from Dakota. Okay, now we're gonna move on to Holbein. Holbein is a Japanese type, is a Japanese company. See, yeah, you'll work for me. This is a nice light toned gray, and they come in these really cool little boxes. They are square. Holbein is a if I can get this, see if I can get this back on. Holbein is a family-owned Japanese company based in Osaka, Japan. Since the turn of the last century, it has become one of the world's largest manufacturers of high-quality artist materials, which has taken pride in maintaining the highest standards of quality control in the industry. To ensure uniformity of color, light fastness, and consistency, the manufacturing process has been entirely computerized with permanence, brilliance, and technique in mind. This medium soft consistency and square-shaped work great for edge work, line work, and detailing, and offer minimal dusting. There's 144 colors in their full set. They are square, as you can see. A single pastel will run you $3.25. There's not much information beyond what I read you on the manufacturing of their pastels. But they do offer specialty sets, landscape set, portrait sets, and one artist curated set by Stephanie Birdsall. There's no half sticks. Full stick sets of 12, 24, 48, and 72, ranging in price from $33 to $150. A full set of 144, their entire set will cost you about $300, which really isn't that bad for a full set. So let's give these babies a try. Now, I'm gonna break them. Look, no dust. Perfect, right? I'm gonna put this actually back in its little, cute little case. Ooh, these feel rather soft. Yeah, these feel a little soft. There is dust. There wasn't dust with the Blick Studio, though, if you noticed that, which is kind of funny considering the price point, that there must be some extra binder in there. So they go on very nicely, and once you get a layer on, going over it, see, this is a very tactile thing, guys, so it's kind of hard for me to explain to you. It feels creamy. It does have a creamy feel for a medium pastel. Like, once you get that on there, going over it, this feels nice and creamy. But look at the dust. Like, we didn't get that with the Rembrandts. We didn't get that with the Blick. There is a little bit of dust. So they did say minimal dusting. They didn't say no dusting. So I'm going to try to just move that dust into my paper. This is the smooth Canson Mittens, and this is the rough. So the rough, it did the best on the Canson Mittens rough side, which is kind of interesting, right? Now let's try lines. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? Yeah, you can see this. Lines are great. So these are great for detail. I have a friend who keeps her Holbein pastels in her Heidelman single sketch box. And if you look up reviews for Heidelman single sketch box, you'll find her. Oh God, her name is slipping me right now. This is a brain fog. She uses Holbein pastels. And what do I have to say about them? Well, I like them. Would I buy them? Well, I have a ton of pastels, so right now I'm not buying them. But would I buy them? Yes, I would buy them. I am actually really enjoyed using them and really thought that the creaminess was something special about a medium hard pastel. I mean a medium soft pastel. Okay, now let's move on. Art Spectrum. I'm going to try to get the mediums and the hards done in one video. It might be a little longer than a half hour, guys. Sorry. I'm doing the best I can. There we go. So this is a regular Art Spectrum. Now remember before we did, it doesn't have the label on it anymore, we did the extra soft. This is the extra soft. This is the regular Art Spectrum Artist Soft Pastel. Now they're made in Australia. There is 154 colors in their range. They are round, as you can see. This has unique colors to the Australian palette, many rich dark tones. The nature of the individual pigments causes slight variation in the softness of colors in mass tone. Remember, we talked about that in the soft pastel video. Oh, that just broke. That was perfect. That the pigments themselves will affect the softness and the hardness of the pastel sticks themselves. So they make it a point to mention that. Each color has a 3-digit number with a letter designating what it is. So D for darkest, N, Nero, which is just dark, so I guess a little bit up from darkest, P for pure pigment, T for tinted, V for very tinted, and X for extra tinted. So they go from darkest, dark, pure pigment, T for tinted, V for very tinted, and X for extra tinted. I'm gonna assume that the X, the extra tinted, is almost white, that it's a white with like maybe tinted a little bit of a color. All colors do not have all tint designations. Okay. Now, I made a note here about their soft white pastels. Art Spectrum has 12 extra soft, very lightly tinted colors to complement their line of medium soft pastels. These colors are much softer than their regular line of pastels and work great for finishing highlights. They are formed by using less binder than the standard range and by adding a unique inert additive to increase ease of application. They are dark, portrait, and landscape sets available along with that soft white pastel set that I mentioned. And this soft white is part of their Art Spectrum medium pastel range, not their extra soft range. A single pastel will cost you $4.25. They do offer half sticks in sets of 20 and 40, with the set of 20 being $50 and the set of 40 being $95. Full stick sets of 6 by color family for $26. There are sets of 15 and 30 full sticks, ranging from, the set of 15 is $62, the set of 30 is $126. The full wooden box set of 154 colors is $700. Okay, well, now that we've read through all that, let's get to the testing. They are a medium pastel. They feel kind of like Rembrandt's, but not like, oh wow, look, this sanded paper picked up the Artist Spectrum pastel more than it picks up the Rembrandt's. So that's something that's new. Ooh, they feel creamy, like the Holbeins did, but they feel creamier. So this is very interesting to me. So they have qualities, I would say. Okay, sorry guys, my camera has a feature where I haven't figured out how to unset it or reset it, that it stops recording after about a half hour. So So I'm going to try to get through the hard pastels too. So this video is going to be a lot longer than I intended it to be. So hopefully after editing it won't be too long. Anyway, as I was saying, I would compare it between a Holbein and a Rembrandt. That's how I would rate this pastel. Somewhere in between... Sorry, I'm just grabbing my pastels. In between this and this. So, their creaminess kind of shocked me. I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect it to be as creamy as it was. You know, would I use them? Of course I would use them. Like, I never really knew Artist Spectrum brand. Oh, and I have something really cool for you guys for when we get to the surfaces and grounds. They make a ground specifically for, come on, let's zoom for me, specifically for pastels. So you can put their Color Fix pastel ground on anything. Just needed to show you a little preview of that for fun, of course. Of course, this is all for fun. So I can get lines. I'm happy with this pastel. So far, medium pastels. Great. Now, let's get to the pan pastel. All right. Since we've used up most of our paper, I'm going to move it over now. I'm going to use one of my blenders that I have because it's just here and it's accessible to me. Now, they come with these kind of soft tools, S-O-F-F-T, and it goes on this little thing like a sock. And sometimes when you get the sampler set, you'll get a blending sponge, you know, like this, or you'll get one like this. It really depends on what Dakota Pastels just packaged in the box. Like, I got one of these, which I have hundreds of them because I have a full set of pan pastels, which if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know. Now, this is how you use pan pastels. And this is why I consider them to be soft pastels. You dab, and then you just, like, look at how soft that, ooh, I'm not even in the frame, sorry guys. Look at how soft that is. Let me ooh, is that all I can do? Look at that. Like, to me, that's not a medium. I guess it doesn't have a category, really, because it's in a pan, like paint. And something that's great about soft pan pastels is that, you know, you can buy the painter set, which is what I advise everybody to start with, because I could take this, and let's say this was just a pure pigment of, this is light phthalo blue tint. They come in tints, they come in shades, they come in metallics, they come in extra darks, they come in neutrals, they come in everything. Let's say the painter set is just pure pigments, like just phthalo blue, phthalo green, cadmium red, stuff like that. And you buy a white and a black, or the white and the black comes in the set. You can literally just dab on here and then dab on your white and then like put that on your paper and you have your tints and your shades. So they're very expensive pan pastels, and they're you know, but that's a good way to save money instead of having to buy the tints and the shades. So on the smooth paper, it reacts the same. It goes on, like I said, I'm gonna blend it with the Rembrandts a little just to show you this kind of really cool effect. Okay, now something to note with sanded paper and your soft tools. Not the best idea. It will eat your soft tools up. Now, the extra thingies for your soft tools aren't that expensive, but you do want to have a lighter touch. Like, you don't want to be going like this too much. You want to have a bit of a lighter application. Sorry guys, this is fun. So you see I'm dabbing because it's sanded. If I were to go like this, it does eat up your soft tools. All right, so now that I did the demo, let me read you the information. Now, I wrote this down in my notes that I thought this would fall into the soft pastel category because they are so soft that they have to be in cakes instead of sticks. But since they are one of a kind, it's hard to categorize them. To me, they're soft and behave almost like a soft pastel in a paint pod form. They are made in the USA. There are 80 colors total in their entire line. Pan Pastel colors are artist quality pastels that are highly pigmented, have excellent light fastness ratings, and are uniquely packed in a pan form. The manufacturing process requires minimal binders and fillers, resulting in an ultra-soft, low-dust formation. Pan pastels can be applied like paint and is not as pressure-sensitive as pastel sticks, making it a truly innovative and unique product. Underpainting broad areas is easily achieved with no waiting time involved for water or solvent washes to dry. Shading and blending techniques are accomplished with the use of a wide range of soft tools, S-O-F-F-T. So minus my pipe foam installation, like there's so many soft tools, and these come in about like 4 different shapes. There's a pointed one. It's great. Like I can go... like this and I can cover a large area. Let's say I was doing a sky. You know what I mean? So that's just, you know, I feel like they're a really great thing to have for underpaintings, and they're different and they're really cool. So we're going to do a whole nother video when we do the mini tutorial. So colors can be mixed and blended in the pans, like I said, and easily cleaned off for an infinite palette of color. This is what makes them unique from other soft pastels in stick form. They are completely compatible with all soft pastels and pastel painting techniques. They are compatible with other painting and drawing mediums for mixed media use as well, and I can attest to that personally. So they include a colorless blender as well, which I currently don't have on hand. New as of 2020, a Dawn Emerson collection, which if you don't know who Dawn Emerson is, look up her artwork. She's amazing. She has a book called Pastel Innovations, which is a great book, which we will be going over when we go over the recommended books for pastelists and artists to have on their bookshelf. So it's a set of... From the author of the groundbreaking book Pastel Innovations, a 40 color set of pan pastels includes 40 pan pastel colors. Sorry guys, I told you, fibro brain, a little out of it. 4 soft angle slice sponges, which I think are these. 4 soft sponge bars and 2 palette trays with covers, including tips for usage and links to online videos. Now, let me just go grab something. So I just happen to have this in my closet on top, which was great. This is a pan pastel palette. So let's say I have, and all of my pan pastels are in palettes. Let's say I have pan pastels and they don't all come with covers. They come, when you buy them, like kind of all screwed together. If you can see, let me see if this will, come on. There we go. So if you can see the ridges in there, it's because they're stacked on top of each other in packs of 5. These go in the pastel pan palette, and these you actually have a paint palette for them. So I just wanted to show you that. And it says that the Dawn Emerson collection has 2 palette trays with covers included. So that's a really cool feature. And I'm going to look into that Dawn Emerson set for you guys because I'm really interested. All right, now let's get some pricing because that's kind of important, right? Single pastel will cost you $5.50. So a single pan is almost $6. They are expensive. They are pricey. That is a con. Specialty sets such as landscape, metallic, skin tones, portraits, grayscale, mixed media, tints, and shades, along with the new Dawn Emerson curated collection set is available. They do offer I said metallic, so set of 5, 6, 7, 10, 20, 40, which is the Dawn Emerson collection, ranging in price from $26 to $182. With the Dawn Emerson set on sale at Dakota Pastels right now for $170. So instead of getting it at $182, you can get it at $170. Complete set of 80 is $335. They also offer the empty palette trays like I showed you, so you can buy your own colors and design your own palette. From where I look, the best price for these are at Dakota Pastels. Okay, so that concludes our medium pastels for now. I think I'm gonna leave this as one video, and I'm gonna do the hard pastels as a separate video just because I want to keep these videos kind of short. And the hard pastel video will probably be a half hour as well. So I hope you got a lot out of this. You know, we will be moving on to hard pastels, and then we have pastel pencils, and then we will be moving on to papers. And within that papers thing, after we get through all of the papers that I personally can go through, because, you know, I'm one person, I don't have every paper on the market, but I do have a lot of them, we're going to be going through substrates, homemade grounds, pre-made grounds, and things of that nature. And then after that, we will go over the very, very long list I have for recommended books for pastel artists and artists in general. So I will see you soon. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a like, a comment, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more stuff like this. We will be getting to pastel tutorials shortly in the future. So yeah, I hope you got a lot out of it, and that's my hope. You know, that's why I do these videos, so you don't have to go out and spend your money and decide you don't like something. So that's all I got for you. See you soon, guys.